Michael Jimenez. Halftime.
Yes, sir! It's halftime on San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN AM 1250, 103.3 FM. We're on the go at sasportstar.com. What's going on? My name is Michael Jimenez, your host from 12 to 2. Here at halftime, we do sports, pop culture, and nostalgia. And on Tuesdays, it is Tuesdays with Teague. What's going on, Carolina?
Good afternoon, guys. Hope y'all are having a great day, especially lunch hour. So hope y'all are eating good lunches and having a good day.
I noticed that on Facebook and YouTube, we have our StreamYard. You can follow us live on Facebook or YouTube. Search San Antonio Sports Star, like and subscribe. We are on there. And on there, Carolina has as her title there, instead of her name, it says Not Your Ex. And we'll be getting into that at 12:45 because I thought that was a fascinating question that you asked me this morning. You asked the question, how does one qualify to be one's ex? Is it dating a certain amount of time? Is it a committed relationship? Is it an entanglement? Let us know what you think, because I have a poll out on Twitter. I'm at Mike ESPN SA. Carolina is at Carolina Teague _, and the show is being produced by Edwin Hafner. We are, again, live from 12 to 2. Big show. Obviously, we need to talk about the Spurs. Spurs lost to the Grizzlies last night. But Gonna be honest with you, I didn't mind it.
Me
Watching John Moran out there was perfectly fine for me, so I really enjoyed that game out there. Baylor took out UT last night. Baylor's rounding into form, man. This is the defending champs, and they're looking good heading into March Madness. End of an era at UT. That was the last game ever there at the Frank Irwin Center. We'll be getting into that game as well. Also, Troy Aikman wants to get the band back together. Kind of interesting that he is making that move from Fox to ESPN, but he wants to take a friend with him. So we'll get into that as well. But again, halftime goes from 12 to 2 here at San Antonio Sports Star. Again, we're live on Facebook and on YouTube. But let's get things started with that game last night. Spurs against the Grizzlies. Now, I'm going to be honest with you, this was not a game that I was expecting the Spurs to win, but I enjoyed it. Again, I'm a huge Spurs fan. Don't get me wrong. I want them to win every single game.
Sure.
But last night.
Sure you do.
But last night.
Just kidding.
John Morant, man. John Morant was something else. It was to the point where I was just enjoying this game for what it was. I was enjoying him out there. Spurs lose last night, 118 to 105. But John Morant, 52 points on 22 of 30 shooting. He had 2 incredible plays, and we'll be getting into that in a second. But, man, it was just breathtaking watching John Morant play out there. And now, if the Spurs don't win it, I'll jump on Memphis's bandwagon for the playoffs if the Spurs aren't there.
That's a good pick.
Because why hate them? There's nothing to hate about them.
Nothing. I mean, yeah, nothing. It's been really interesting seeing them go up against the Spurs throughout the past year or so, especially last year when they were up against the play-in against the Memphis Grizzlies and they got defeated by the Memphis Grizzlies. John Moran is really hard for the San Antonio Spurs to guard. And John Morant just had a career night the game before against the Chicago Bulls. He had 46 points. That was his career high. And then not to San Antonio, but he plays San Antonio for the last game of the rodeo road trip. And you see an incredible performance by him. He's hands down my favorite player in the NBA at the moment. He is.
Yeah.
No cap.
52 points last night, which was a franchise record for the Memphis Grizzlies. And there was nobody that could stop him. Devin Vassell couldn't stop him. DeJounte Murray had a difficult time with him. Lonnie Walker. There was nobody the Spurs could throw out there that could stop him. And there were 2 plays that defined this game. Now, don't get me wrong, okay? I'm being a fanboy here because I was just so excited watching this game. Spurs kept it close. It was a 1-possession game, a 1-point game midway through the third quarter. The Spurs just couldn't get over the top. They were getting close. And then it just blew open in the third quarter, and Memphis ran away.
Yeah.
But the 2 big plays there, Jakob Poeltl became posterized.
I know.
And it was an epic postering.
Being posterized is so offensive and disrespectful if you're the one being posterized. Now, if you're a huge fan of the person who's doing the posterizing, this is great because it looks good on a poster. It's good for the highlight reel. But imagine being the person being posterized.
Yeah.
And you've seen incredible dunks every single year. This is probably one of the best dunks of the entire year that we've seen. Ja Morant being posterizing Jakob Poeltl, and I feel like Jakob Poeltl, it's just really not good when a San Antonio Spur gets posterized.
And the thing about
It's
it
kind
is,
of depressing.
the thing about it is that that Ja Morant got the ball at midcourt on the left-hand side, and he was going in 1-on-3. Right now, we're watching
watching it.
SportsCenter on ESPN, and he's going 1-on-3. So you think to yourself, well, he's not going to go in 1-on-3, but Ja Morant had a full head of steam, and to his, respect given, Jakob got in the way. He was trying to draw the charge.
Right. Fail.
But instead, Ja Morant was about 2 feet above him. And the place, it was one of those things where the place didn't just erupt. It was silence for a brief second. Like, did we just see that? Like, damn! And then all of a sudden, everyone jumped up and down. I'm watching at home. I'm cheering for the Spurs, but I was like, oh my God, that was great. The other play that he did was the 0.4. So the Spurs had been victimized by 0.4 before, back in the day with Derek Fisher when he played for the Lakers.
Right.
But in this respect, we had a pass. I believe it was Steven Adams who threw it 90 feet down the court to Ja Morant, who caught it in midair and flung it in at the buzzer. Ridiculous. You could give him 100 attempts and he would fail 99 times. That whole thing. The whole scenario of throwing the ball the full length of the court, not to half court, it was beyond the Christian Laettner where he caught it at the top of the key or the free throw line. This went the full length of the court. Ja Morant caught it, just flung it up in the air, and it went in, and Lonnie Walker gave a look of, oh my God, what the heck just happened?
I mean, he did everything. The buzzer beater, the dunk. I mean, it was just a screaming highlight reel for Ja Morant. And that is why we're watching SportsCenter right now, and they're playing highlights of Ja Morant over and over again. And if you're Jakob Poeltl, you have to relive that over and over again. I would be embarrassed. I would be sad that it's happening to me now.
Yeah,
this is incredible. They keep playing it over and over again. This is insane.
And this is going to be part of like the ESPYs. This is going to be one of the greatest plays of the year. This wasn't just one of those dunks where you'll forget about it next week or in a month from now. No, this is going to be replayed over and over and over again. Feel bad for Jakob Poeltl.
And they always have like top 10 dunks of the season towards the end of the season.
This is one of them.
This has got to be one of them. This has got to be one of them.
We'll be talking more about the Spurs in a moment. Also be talking more about Ja Morant. People were comparing him to Kobe. People were comparing him to Allen Iverson.
Yeah.
And I think that is absolutely wrong. And
why?
Do you know why?
Why?
Because he's better than them.
You think so?
I said it, man. Ja Morant is better than them and is going to be better than them. May not have the career, may not have the chips.
That's a strong statement.
But man, just seeing where he is right now and how efficient he is, we're going to get into that in about 15 minutes. Hey, man, big props to the Baylor Bears men's basketball team. Looked good last night against UT. Okay, well, shouldn't say looked good. Let me just say this. It is a stingy defense that UT plays. Interesting stat. UT fell to 21-9, the last game ever at the Frank Irwin Center. And right now, the defining mark for the UT Longhorns is 60 points. If the opposing team scores 60, UT will likely lose. If they score 59 or less, UT will likely win because right now, UT is 17-0 when they hold the opponents below 59 points, but 4-9 when the opponent scores 60 or more. That's crazy. What that tells me is that UT is an incredible team defensively, but have no scores. Carolina, last night, I was watching that game and I was thinking to myself, this looks like 5 Bruce Bowens on the court at one time. Okay, all of them lockdown defenders. None of them could make a basket other than a straight 3-point shot at the side.
Yep.
But the thing about it is that Baylor now at 25-5, they jumped up from number 10 to number 3 in the rankings because numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 9 all lost on Saturday. Baylor, the defending champs, moved up to 3. They beat Kansas. They beat UT. And now they're heading into the Big 12 championship. They're now heading into March Madness. full steam ahead,
Mhm.
looking good,
Mhm.
and they're the defending champs.
Yeah, and you know what? Speaking of Texas, the coach did say after that game, and you made a great point, offense is really important, and they don't have it right now, and that is exactly why they lost, because they can be a great team defensively, but if the offense isn't there, they aren't going to win the games, and that explains exactly your point. That is exactly why they lost that game, and I saw something online that I thought was really interesting. They said that February 26th, 2022 was probably one of the best days in college basketball because 7 out of the top 10 teams
Mhm.
lost. And the majority of them, with the exception of, this Texas game that just happened, were all road games. So that just shows how valuable the home games are for college basketball teams.
Looking at Texas, it was tragic watching them try to play offense.
Mhm.
It was so bad because Baylor is a really good team.
Mhm.
And for them to be clamped down the way that they were shows how good that defense is for Texas.
Right.
But man, make a jumper, make a layup, do something. I mean, there are high school basketball teams that have better offensive play, but the thing is that they're elite defensively.
Right.
And it keeps them in games and it frustrates the opposing team. But when that team can finally break through and go on a 7-0 run, the game is
It's over.
over.
Mhm.
So UT is going to be that team in the tournament next month or this month. We're now in March. In a couple of weeks, where you're not going to want to play them because they're very stingy and they take you off of your game. But just do know that as long as you prevent UT from scoring, you're going to have a chance too.
Mhm.
So it's weird because if you were to tell me that UT plays a team of Kansas's caliber that they could beat them, well, yeah, they can because they just did it a couple of weeks ago.
Mhm.
But if you told me that they were going to lose to some 12 seed, I'd believe that too because they don't have any offensive firepower.
Mhm.
None at all. Later on the show, 1 o'clock hour, I want to get into how the seedings look for all of these different teams because I'm fascinated by the Big 12. The Big 12, let me ask you this question, Carolina.
Mhm.
Do you think it's better for a team to be prepared because, man, they fought battle after battle after battle because it was a tough conference? Or do you think it's better to be part of a conference that has, bottom feeders that gives you time to rest, gives you
Mhm.
time to work on a few things, tinker around? Because look at the Big 12. I would look at it going, man, there could be 5 or 6 of these teams in the Sweet 16.
Mhm.
But I also look at it as saying they might have beaten each other up to the point where they have no energy
Mhm.
in 2 weeks.
I think it's really important to f battle teams that bring out the best in you. So I think if you're getting defeated and you guys are having all-out wars throughout the entire season, that's a good thing. Because then when you prepare for March Madness, you could go back and look at the film at the Big 12 and say, "Hey, this is where our errors were, this is where we went wrong, and this is where we can improve." When you are essentially a team that's having easier games, you don't prepare for those big moments where you make those mistakes, where you make those errors, where you can't work on time management and things of that nature. So I think being able to play games that are essentially tougher throughout the season can help you out in the Big 12.
Right now, Texas, according to Joe Lenardi on ESPN, let's go ahead and go through that. Let's do it this hour right now. Texas Tech is looking like a 3 seed according to ESPN's bracketology. Texas looking like a 5 seed. The 5 seed is very, very dangerous because one thing that bettors will tell you is that the 5 seeds typically will play the 12s,
Mhm.
and the 12s are typically the conference champions of a mid-major.
Okay.
And so many 5s fall every year in the first round because those mid majors, they don't get the respect. This isn't like college football where you have a mid major team like a Cincinnati or a UTSA or a team like that where people are like, okay, they're not going to actually beat the big boys,
Mhm.
right? They'll compete, but not beat the big boys. These mid majors are just strong.
Mhm.
I mean, heck, number 1 in the country right now is Gonzaga. We have a lot of good teams out there that are going to be 1s, 2s, and 3s that come from mid majors. And unfortunately, if Texas, that's what I fear about Texas. I think if Texas gets to a 4 seed, they'll be fine. A
Mhm.
3 or a 4 seed, they'll be fine. If they get to a 5 or a 6, I get really concerned about that team.
Mhm.
Right now, looking like 1 seeds, Kansas and Baylor looking as like 1 seeds right now. Texas State is on track to be 14 if they can win their conference. So Looking forward to that as well. They have a very stingy team, very interesting team.
Mhm.
Deadlines are apparently made to be broken. Because yesterday we were hearing that if Major League Baseball does not come to an agreement between the players and the owners,
Mhm.
that a month's worth of games would go away, would
Mhm.
evaporate. But apparently there was a marathon session of negotiations. We're talking about 16 hours, and now they pushed that deadline to 4:00 today,
Mhm.
San Antonio time. Do you have any faith that there's going to be an agreement? Do you have any faith that there's going to be a 162 game season?
Anything can happen. Anything's just a short conversation away from being able to meet down the middle. Now, I think the things that can be met for the Major League Baseball deadline is the salary cap potentially. I mean, that's a big one in my opinion. Just raising the wage for the minimum wage for the players is very important to me. I think that one can be negotiated because right now, it's currently at 575,000. The players want to negotiate 700,000, and Major League Baseball wants to negotiate 675,000. I feel like that's doable, especially considering the fact that you have the teams, or you have the players actually that there's inflation involved. And a lot of the Major League Baseball teams are increasing more revenue. So I feel like that's something that's negotiable. But I think the main one that's going to be the toughest to negotiate for the Major League Baseball deadline is that 14 playoff team issue. And that essentially makes it easier for the teams that bring in more revenue, who are major league or bigger teams like the Red Sox or the Yankees or the Chicago Cubs, things of that nature. It's going to make them easier to be able to get into those spots and basically make it harder for the smaller markets to kind of dominate in that area. So
But doesn't that make the regular season meaningless? Now, I do agree when they did expand the playoffs back in the day to add wild cards
Mhm.
and add an additional wild card and all that stuff. I was okay with that because back in the day, you would only have a handful of teams, 4 teams or so, make the playoffs in each conference
Mhm.
or each league rather. And it was just very, very odd because very few teams would actually make it. So when they added a couple of teams, I was fine with that. But if we're going to get 14, 16 teams in the playoffs,
Mhm.
to me, it makes the regular season meaningless. It really does.
Mhm. 'Cause
And
it's easier.
it makes division titles meaningless too.
Mhm.
This is a battle between billionaires and millionaires. And one of the things
Right.
about America that's weird is that when it comes to a battle of billionaires and millionaires, America sides with the billionaires all the time,
Which is
the owners.
capitalism at its finest.
We for some reason we go after the owners. And
Mhm.
the thing about it though is that typically I side with the players. I side with the NFL players, I side with the NBA players because they are constantly getting screwed over. Baseball has been good to the baseball players over the years, and they've had all of these labor issues,
Mhm.
and because they've missed seasons and they've missed time, I think baseball players have negotiated to the point where you could be an average baseball player and make more
Mhm.
than an Pro Bowl football player, make more than a all-star in the NBA, which
Mhm.
is weird. They make a lot of money in baseball, and because of
It's
that,
because they play more games too. I mean,
they
but I do agree, they get paid way more than any other sport.
yeah, but they don't all play a lot of games
True.
because pitchers, yeah, some pitchers who pitch 20 to 40 games a year,
Mhm.
and so it's a little bit different because, there's a big difference between playing a football game and playing baseball games in 75-degree weather in Colorado.
Well, one of the things that I like about the collective bargaining agreement that the players are trying to negotiate is if the players are currently not in arbitration, which is they're playing 3 years or less, they want to increase that bonus amount that they get if they have a good season and they're not out of arbitration. So I think that's a good thing that the players want to negotiate too. If they have a great season, but they don't necessarily have a big contract, they can negotiate those bonuses as well. And it's a lot for them to take in. But I just want to see some baseball.
Deadline is 4 p.m. The billionaires have nothing to lose when it comes to this. They really
They
don't.
don't.
And they don't care if they miss time.
They're greedy.
And that's the thing is that, Chris Rock said it best. A millionaire, there's a difference between a millionaire and a billionaire. So Shaq is rich, but Shaq's the person who writes his check is wealthy,
Uh-huh.
right? That's what he's basically saying. Rich people can run out of money. Wealthy people can't.
They can't.
Speaking of lots of
I
money.
wish I was wealthy.
Oh, do you know who? I don't know if he's wealthy, but very rich.
Who?
Troy Aikman.
He's rich.
Troy Aikman is really rich. And he was hanging out in San Antonio last week, pitching his beer at various bars across town.
Did you grab one?
I did not. I was out of town, but I did, saw all that on social media and whatnot. And, he is making the switch from Fox to ESPN. The weird thing is that it sounds as though he wants to bring the band back together because Joe Buck, his former partner out there over at Fox, only has one more year left on his deal. So it sounds like Troy's hoping that Joe Buck comes his way.
Well, I mean,
Well, we have a great friendship. We really do. We've been through a lot. We've been through a lot in our profession, but we've also been through a lot in our personal lives. We've kind of paralleled a lot of things in our personal lives as well, and we've helped each other get through a lot of that. So I know that that's not the norm. I think a lot of partners get along, but to be as good of friends as what we are, he truly is one of my best friends. So, and I think that's, there's probably more that could be said, and I think maybe it will in the right time. But, there's been some disappointment on how that maybe was taken for granted by some. But he's been a fantastic partner. He's, in my opinion, the best in the business. And, there's nothing I'd love more than to continue to work with him.
Carolina, he sounds like me and Pledger, right? I mean, that whole relationship, I go wherever my boy is. Pledger's my boy. I want to work with my boy. It's very much the same way. He has a friend in Joe Buck, and he's, as I said, it's beyond a working relationship. They are really good friends. Because of it, they want to work together.
In real life.
They do a good job together. I wouldn't mind them being together on Monday Night Football.
I wouldn't mind them either because I really like the chemistry I see between Troy Aikman and Joe Buck because, like you said, like you and Pledger, when you guys are on the air together, it's good chemistry. You can't imitate good chemistry.
Yeah, well, and we have good chemistry. I have good chemistry with Rudy
J.
We
have great. I feel like we all have great chemistry with each other.
That's the great thing about San Antonio Sports Stars, that we all get along and we all play well together.
Yeah.
The thing I just saw about that, though, is that...
But there's some people that it's like magic.
Yes.
Do you think that Troy Aikman and Joe Buck together, are they magic? Do they stand out to you when you watch a game?
No,
seriously,
not at all. Not at all. They're good, and I like it. I like Troy Aikman out there. I am not a big Joe Buck fan, and there are a lot of people
who are not.
There are a lot of people who love Joe Buck. I just find him very boring, very boring. But if it makes Troy Aikman better, then it just kind of is what it is, and we'll make that happen. But, we have a lot to get into here in the San Antonio Sports Star. We are live until 2:00. We're also on Facebook and YouTube. We're giving away concert tickets this afternoon, by the way.
Oh, yay.
And, when we come back, Moran.
Why do you sigh like that?
Because my inner 90s, I am 44 years old, and my inner 90s is painful. It's painful for me to say this, but he's better than Allen Iverson. Moran is also better at this point in his career than Kobe Bryant was. We're gonna be talking about Moran when we come back, and also, when is an X an X? A fantastic question asked by Carolina Teague, because she says that she knows somebody who says that they're an X, and she's like, "No, we're not."
No, we're not.
What's the definition of this? We'll get into this at 12:45. This is halftime on San Antonio Sports Star.
It's time to get your hoops on. The NBA season is off to a fast start. North, south, east, west. Step back for three. Bang, got it. The courts are firing with board busting and rim wrecking in your face balling. Deep three straight away. Oh, we got another one. And we got it all covered. Everything a fan like you wants, and then some. Hammers a right-hand dunk. Get the latest on your game on San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN 1250 and 103.3 FM.
Here in Texas, the heat is relentless. The storms are serious. The hail is insane. Texas weather doesn't do anything halfway, and neither should your roofer. Hi, I'm Joe Reinigle. Your roof protects your home and your family. So whether you need a simple repair or a roof replacement, metal or composition, you need a roofer you can trust. That's Stevens Roofing. They're reputable, reliable, and have always been your local roofer. Call Stevens Roofing today for a free estimate, 210-785-0994, or go online at stevensroofing.net.
It's not easy being the one everyone counts on to keep the facility running, no matter the weather or supply chain hiccup. But we get you, Raymond in Buffalo, and Maria in Miami, Jules in Minneapolis, and Stan in Central Indiana, taking control of everything that's under your control. At Grainger, we're here for you with experienced branch staff at over 250 locations so you get the product you're looking for. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
If I'm going to work from my home office, I need my home office to work for me.
It's possible at Staples. To be most productive, my home office needs to have everything my office has. Also possible because your local Staples store has the tools, tech, and furniture you need to get work done from home. And right now, you can save up to $100 on select chairs to put the finishing touch on your home office. Explore what's new at Staples, the working and learning store. Ends 3/5. In-store only while supplies last.
Can you ship out that order to the branch in Savannah?
Yep, it's got bananas.
No, Savannah! Savannah!
Yeah, I'm also gonna add some strawberries.
You know, maybe instead of giving everyone their own personal blenders to make smoothies at our desks, they should have just ordered food through Easy Cater.
Oh, sorry, Jill, I can't right now. Gotta ship that order out to Savannah.
Some food just doesn't work at work, but Easy Cater just does. Food for work, on time, and as ordered. From over 82,000 restaurants. Order 24/7 at EasyCater.com.
Wait, aren't these all charitable donations?
At Magda's Tax Prep, every person counts.
I'd rather not have to file for an extension.
She needs new auditors to maximize returns on her family time.
On itemized deductions. Hey, can someone help with these 1099s?
Indeed can help her hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Our hiring platform instantly connects you with quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Giving you an excuse for a long lunch break. This is Halftime with Michael Jimenez on San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN 1250 and 103.3 FM.
Rebound grabbed by Adams, baseball to Moran. Moran, oh, good night! End it all right there! Jakob Poeltl has been posterized with a vicious right-handed jam by John Moran. I thought I'd seen it all, and now I've seen more. A 7-footer just got ended. Adams, baseball pass, 1 of 2. Moran catches in midair. Oh my God! He caught it midair. He caught it midair and floated it up and in. You have got to be kidding me. John Moran is at an absolutely another level.
That is Eric Hazeltine from 929 ESPN Memphis with the call out there. Obviously very excited about John Morant. Welcome to Halftime again on San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN AM 1250 and 103.3 FM. We're on the go at sasportstar.com. We're live on Facebook and YouTube. There you can see Carolina Teague and myself doing the show right now. You can leave some comments, and some people are already pissed off at me on Facebook because I compared John Morant to Allen Iverson.
Right.
Anthony Gonzalez saying, I'm done with Mike. He's done with Jimenez. Do not compare John Morant to Allen Iverson. I'm not comparing the two. There is no comparison. John Morant's better than Allen Iverson was.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. That is slander to a lot of people my age. I am 44 years old. I grew up in the 90s and early 2000s. I understand all that, but I'm taking a look at John Morant and what he's doing. Absolutely ridiculous and amazing last night. 52 points against the Spurs. You know what? Let's get some phone calls on this. The Kielbasa Bacon phone lines are open at 656 ESPN.
We got
again 656 ESPN. Is John Morant better than Allen Iverson? Tracy McGrady? Is he better than Vince Carter? Is he better than Kobe Bryant? Because I think he's getting there. And in fact, if you're to say year 3 to year 3, he's there.
Right. You know, I think I agree with you. Year 3 to year 3, he is there. I'm looking at the comparisons right now. Both won a Rookie of the Year. Both, well, actually, they both, you know, are, well, John Moran's been in one All-Star game in comparison to Allen Iverson's 11. I mean, he has a long way to go before we can compare him to Allen Iverson, and only time will tell. But as far as his playing style is concerned, it's very similar to Allen Iverson. He's just very electric on the court, and by far, John Morant right now is my favorite player in the NBA. I just love seeing his glow up. He kind of reminds me also of Derrick Rose early in 2010, 2011, before my man Derrick Rose had his injuries. I just hope that Ja Morant stays healthy so we can see how he is with his full potential. He's hands down best player in the NBA. Argue with somebody else about it. I love Ja Morant. I love seeing him play. And if you look at the development of Ja Morant when they played the Spurs last year or 2 years ago, what was the playing game with the Grizzlies? I can't remember.
Yeah,
off
it
the
was a
top of
couple
my
years
head.
ago.
It was like 2 years ago, right? Playing game. Compared to today, out of all of the players, Ja Morant, look at his performance last night against the Spurs. A career high, 52 points. That's insane. Even the Spurs' top player, DeJounte Murray, has not touched 52 points.
Now, the thing about Ja Morant is this. He had his first All-Star appearance this year. He's 22 years old, averaging 27.6 points a game, 6 rebounds, and almost 7 assists. Absolutely ridiculous. But he's efficient when he does it. He is shooting 50% for the year. Okay? Okay, I lied. 49.98.
That's still
Close
good.
enough,
Yeah,
right?
still good.
Because when you take a look at players back in the day like Allen Iverson and Kobe Bryant, they were volume shooters shooting 43% for the year,
Right.
44% for the year. They weren't shooting 50. And what the reason why his is so high is because he gets so many points in the paint. He's not out there shooting bucket after bucket after bucket, and he's not dunking every time. He is efficient.
He's aggressive.
He is like a hybrid between an AI Kobe and kind of a Tony Parker, because Tony Parker would find his way into the lane as well. He's an amazing player, and a lot of people will roll their eyes, like Edwin Hafner rolled his eyes earlier in the show when I said that he was better than AI. I believe it. And you know what? Here's the reason why some people won't believe it. A, because they're nostalgic and don't want to say something like that. But the second thing is that Ja Morant plays in Memphis, Tennessee, a small market that does not play a lot of nationally televised games. But if this Ja Morant played for the Knicks, if he played for the Bulls,
He'd be all over the place.
he played for the Lakers, he would already be considered to be an all-time great. And that is the thing. He would be the biggest star in the NBA if he played for a large market team. So when I come out to you and say, hey, he's better than Kobe was this stage of his career, better than AI was at any point in his career, well, where did those guys play? They played in LA, they played in Philly. So I'm sorry, you put those guys with Memphis, you know, I mean, Kobe was drafted by the Hornets, for crying out loud. Do you see where I'm going with this?
Yeah.
Some people don't agree with me because he doesn't get the spotlight.
Well, Kobe was with the Hornets and then he was immediately traded to the Lakers.
Yeah, force his way.
Forced his way. Oh, he forced his way. Okay, well, immediately. Ja Morant, he's had to play in a small market. And I think, you know, you saying that he plays for smaller market, I don't even think that matters. I think his numbers are a huge deal right now. I think everybody needs to be paying attention to how he's playing. And as far as the comparisons to Allen Iverson, I think he's in good company, whether you agree with that or not, that he is like Allen Iverson or better than Allen Iverson. To even be compared to somebody who's a player like Allen Iverson, and to see, you know, you and I both see he has the potential to be at that level or better, that just shows what kind of player that he is. Now, he's not necessarily a more complete player. Like you look at DeJounte Murray, he made the All-Stars, but he's not necessarily as explosive offensively, but he's explosive when it comes to defense. He can get the triple doubles and things like that. Ja Morant, he's more of a player that can be more explosive on the offensive side, creating points and things like that. But as far as getting triple doubles, being a more complete player as a totality, that is something that isn't necessarily there. It's there, but it's not as there as it is for somebody like DeJounte Murray. But he's still my favorite player to watch. He's my favorite player to cut for. I hold Ja Morant down. That is my favorite player in the NBA right now, and I think he's going to get better and better.
I think people are upset about this, that I'm saying this. They're already coming at me on Facebook and YouTube and all that stuff, saying that he's more like Derrick Rose and Russell Westbrook. No, he's efficient. He's efficient. He's shooting 50%. He's a team player. And we're already getting a phone call in on the Kielbasa Bacon phone lines, which, by the way, is open at 656 ESPN. We have Javelle on line one. Javelle, what you got, baby?
Hey, what's going on, guys, man? I just wanted to say, man, y'all opinions are really, really respected. I just look at the times when AI dragged his whole team to the NBA Finals. I can't see Ja Morant doing that. No, is he an explosive player? Yes, he is. But when you compare them, it's really apples and oranges, man. AI was a complete player inside and out. And also he had a decent defense. When you talk about John Morant, his defense is just so-so. And also, you know, if he got the green light like AI had, of course he's going to have those points. And it's a different type of league now. You know, AI grew up in a league where it was more physical. John Moran, he has no problem with physicality, but at the same time, when you're getting all these calls and, you know, you can't really get hacked like you could back in the day, of course you're going to score a lot of points.
Then let me ask you this question real fast, JaVale. JaVale, let me ask you this question real fast. Stay on the line, JaVale. Here's the thing. I'm gonna go through the shooting percentages that AI had in his career. 41%, 41%, 46, 42, 42, 39, 41, 38, 42. AI was not an efficient player. He got a lot of buckets because he got a lot of points because he shot a lot of buckets, dude. He kept shooting and shooting and shooting. And yes, he did lead a Sixers team to a finals appearance against the Lakers. I remember that. It was great. I was cheering for the Sixers. But what I'm saying is that John Morant, the way that he plays, is more efficient. And I think it's, and I'm not saying that you did this, but someone earlier was talking about how he's more like Russell Westbrook. I'm like, no, that's disrespectful. Russell Westbrook is
disrespectful. So Russell Westbrook is, he can't hit the side of a barn, man. So yeah.
I like JaVale. I like your opinion.
Thank you for the call, JaVale.
Yeah, thanks so much, JaVale. I agree with his opinion on that. He needs to be more of a complete player, and Allen Iverson was more of a complete player than John Morant is currently. But I feel like only time will tell if he can match that strength of Allen Iverson. Maybe he can take the Grizzlies far this season. Who knows? I mean, only time will tell. But like I said, I like the way he's playing right now. And as far as the Derrick Rose slander, I really don't appreciate it. In his MVP year, he averaged 25 points, 7.7 assists, and 4.1 rebounds. He was the 7th player in NBA history to have averaged that much and be a complete player in that sense. So the slander isn't, I don't like the Derrick Rose slander. He was a good player. However, the injuries just ruined his career.
Yeah, the whole Derrick Rose thing, he kind of falls in line with like Grant Hill, who we will never know how good he could have been because of injuries. But man, the Memphis Grizzlies, people say, well, what has he won? What has John Morant won? Well, right now the Grizzlies are 43-20. Number 3 in the West, 1 game behind number 2. They're going to get to the 2 spot. They're going to make noise in the playoffs. And this is a team, if my Spurs can't win this season, this is going to be the team that I'm going to be rooting for. I'm not going to buy a Grizzlies t-shirt. I'm not going to buy a John Morant jersey. I'm not going to do any of that. There will be no posters in my garage, to John Morant. But I look at it. How do we know?
We need to see pictures of your house.
I know. Okay.
Because I mean, it's hard not to jump on the John Morant bandwagon. It's hard because he's good.
And it all
I like him.
It all turned on in December because I thought that he and DeJounte were playing kind of like peers.
Yeah, neck and neck.
Up until mid-December. And then DeJounte Murray kept on going up. His play kept on increasing. He took another leap from December to January after he came back from COVID. But John Morant took 5 leaps since then. And it's unreal what he's been able to do right now. But man, it's so much fun to watch. And you just mark my words, that team is going to go far in the playoffs. And John Morant is going to get some chips in his career. He is that good. And you know what's so great about it?
I love him.
What's so great about it? Is that Zion Williamson is just the complete opposite.
You know, that, and you know, when Zion first came to the league, I remember thinking to myself, what is he going to do? And a lot of people were saying he hops too much on one leg. He's going to be injured a lot. And I saw a lot of those comments and I was thinking, is this possibly true? And he is injured a lot. And maybe it is because he hops on that dang leg too much.
It's also because he's really big for being an athlete.
He's big and he's hopping on one leg all the time.
He's a big dude.
And that's what Derrick Rose would do. He'd hop off that same one leg that got him injured all the time. You switch it up.
On the Kielbasa Bacon phone lines, we have Frank who wants to get in on the convo. What's going on, Frank?
Hey guys, thanks for taking my call.
Hi, Frank.
Hello. Ja's phenomenal, great player. We've seen this before with the Spurs. A lot of guys have career nights on us. But what I had to say real quick, and I want y'all's opinion, this has been bothering me since the Heat game, and I let it slide. I didn't call yesterday, but saw it again. Win or lose, I like to see the guys improve. I love the Spurs. But And then Lonnie's been playing great, right?
Yeah.
So, versus the Heat, going off 27 points in 24 minutes, pretty much scoring every minute he's out there, helping out, and doesn't finish the game against the Heat. Yesterday, same thing. He's going toe-to-toe, scoring. Same thing, 24 points in 25 minutes or something like that again. Same thing, doesn't close out the quarter. I don't get it. I don't know what he's, what Pop's trying to get out of that. But, to me, it's, I'm not saying he should start or whatever. I think he's a starter, but he's coming great off the bench, doing great. But DJ, Lonnie, Devin, Keldon, and Jock, that's our best five. That's the team. The guys should be closing it. Or the hot hand. I mean, anybody. It could have been Primo or Trey with a hot hand, but usually you play the hot hand. And playing 24 minutes, that's half the game. So Lonnie was on pace for maybe a 40-point game. But again, he watched the closing game from the bench. So I want to hear y'all's opinions on it. Thank you.
Interesting point. Thanks for the call, Frank. Lonnie Walker played fantastic the first half. First half, I think he had like 15 points, and he was actually outscoring John Morant for the better part of the first half of the game. And Frank's right. They took him out. And I don't know why. I don't know the reason behind it. I'm glad that you recognize that too. I probably should have brought that up earlier. But yeah, 25 minutes was kind of low for what Lonnie's been playing. He's been playing typically 28 to 30 since Derek White left. And he led the Spurs last night, 9 of 18 shooting, 22 points. Ever since the last 6 games, Lonnie Walker has been averaging over 20 points per game.
Yeah.
And he's shooting over 50% during that time. And I tweeted out there last night that it's possible that the best free agent the Spurs could get in the offseason this year is Lonnie Walker. So strange, but I'm not going to have some Derek White slander. I've already said that I would stop doing that.
Please.
But when did the light turn on? When did his play get better? When
after Derek White got traded. And I will give you that. It was after Derek White got traded. And I feel like his role right now, coming off as a 6th man, that's working for him. Because he was starting for a majority throughout the season. Pop has been playing with the rotations on who's the starter.
Yeah.
Every time Lonnie Walker was starting, he'd have low production, maybe 5 points, 7 points. Now that Derek White is traded, and now they're stacking Derek White's role with Devin Vassell, it seems like Lonnie Skywalker, coming off as 6th man is working incredible for him. But as far as the rotations are concerned, why Pop takes him out, I'm not saying it's right, I'm not saying it's wrong, but Pop has said in the past that he wants to develop his players during closing situations. So the players who aren't that necessarily that good when they're in the developmental phase, he likes to put them out there to make sure that they can develop their clutch moments in those situations. Is it right? Do I agree with it? Not necessarily, especially when Lonnie Walker's hot-handed. He's scoring 20 points a game and he's shooting really well. But that's where I'm at with that.
That is Carolina Teague right there coming in strong. 1 o'clock, we'll be talking more about the Spurs, more about Lonnie Walker. We'll also hear from Greg Popovich, who had some comments to make about the rodeo road trip ending. But when we come back, Carolina Teague brought up this question: when is an X an X? And I thought that was a silly question until I started thinking about it. And I was like, wait a minute, that's a great question. Is it because of an entanglement? Is it because of a 2 or 3 month long relationship? How do you define what an X? We'll be talking about that. Again, more Spurs talk at 1 o'clock, and we're giving away concert tickets in the next segment. This is Halftime on San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN AM 1250 and 103.3 FM.
Hi, this is Joe Reinagle. San Antonio Sports Star Drive to End Hunger is going on now through March 25th. Just go to sasportstar.com to give what you can, or just find drop-off locations. It's all presented by the Institute for Functional Health, Rambler Sparkling Water, Copenhagen Imports, and Airtron.
Sports Center is brought to you by Kielbasa Slow Crafted Sausage, available at your local grocery stores.
In the NBA, the San Antonio Spurs fell in their rodeo road trip finale 118-105 to the Memphis Grizzlies. Ja Morant did everything: blocks, buzzer beaters, posters, on his way to the Grizzlies' first ever 50-point game with a career-high 52. Lonnie Walker led the Spurs with 22, while DeJounte Murray added 21 in the loss. Spurs head coach Greg Popovich remains 1 game from tying Don Nelson for most career wins as they take on the Kings Thursday. In college basketball, the 21st-ranked Texas Longhorns fell at home to the 3rd-ranked Baylor Bears 68-61. The 10th-ranked Texas Tech Red Raiders survived at home against Kansas State 73-68. In the NFL, the Houston Texans signed linebacker Tay Davis to a 1-year contract. For San Antonio Sports Star, I'm Rudy J.
I need 4 more of the biscuit carnitas, 2 burnt end platters, 3.
The kitchen at Kai's Barbecue is firing on all cylinders.
Greg, help me bring these to the picnic counter.
He needs food runners who can hit the ground quickly.
86 on the chicken and we're short-staffed. Let's pick it up.
Indeed can help him hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Instant Match instantly connects you with quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your sponsored job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Now an important message from Exergen. A critical new FDA study proves that the widely used non-contact thermometers are not accurate and have high probabilities for false negative readings. New COVID strands are on the rise, and non-contact manufacturers are being irresponsible at a time when accuracy matters most. Accurate temperature measurements are essential. Don't wait. Switch to Exergen because they are accurate and backed by over 100 clinical studies. Be sure, be accurate with Exergen. Learn more at Exergen.com.
Guys, stop what you're doing. Give me a few seconds of your time and let me give you a piece of advice that will change your love life forever. Have you noticed you've been losing a little pep in your step? Has your lady friend asked you, is everything okay? Do you find yourself having trouble rising for the occasion? Do you stress out before that special moment and wonder, is it gonna work? Guys, I'm going to let you in on a big secret. You don't ever have to worry again. The Mojo Male Enhancement Formula has you covered. Mojo is the 100% guaranteed male enhancement formula that guarantees lasting success, if you know what I mean. The Mojo Male Enhancement Formula is safe, natural, and effective every single time, guaranteed. Mojo is available in a fast-acting spray and a quick-action capsule. Do yourself and her a favor and call Pure Line Nutrition in San Antonio today. They'll get you set up for success. Call 210-494-2210. That number again is 210-494-2210. Mojo Male Enhancement, only available at Pure Line Nutrition.
If you're suffering every day with joint pain, stop and listen. You can get real, lasting relief now with natural biologic treatments at QC Kinetics. Hey, it's James Pledger. QC Kinetics is the nation's leader in regenerative solutions that can restore and repair damaged tissue with no surgery and no drugs. This is the relief that you've been hoping for your aching hips, knees, shoulders, lower back. The unique protocols at QC Kinetics were created by a physician with years of study in regenerative, restorative medicine. They're treating patients every day in hundreds of clinics nationwide with remarkable success, life-changing results, zero downtime. This is the new, better, smarter, non-surgical, non-invasive way to deal with joint pain. And yes, they're right here, ready to help you now. Make this spring and summer your best ever with no joint pain holding you back. QC Kinetics, locations in Hollywood Park and Westover Hills. Call 210-571-0318 for a free consultation. That's 571-0318.
If you get arrested, get out of jail fast by calling AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121. Text bail to 474747 or online at mybestbailbonds.com. You don't have to call attorneys or anybody else. Don't be forced into a PR bond. If the jail offers you one, make sure you understand the conditions before accepting it. AA Best Bail Bonds. Nobody beats their price. They have payment plans. Call 210-225-2121 or mybestbailbonds.com.
License number 149.
The Roo Pub is the best place to watch a game. Football, basketball, the big fights, they have them on at the Roo on their 3 massive 170-inch laser screens and TVs all around. Come hungry, the food is fantastic, and the kitchen is open until 2 a.m. every day with the full menu available. The Roo Pub has the best darts area in town, indoor cornhole and weekday happy hour from 11 to 6. For lunch, dinner, or late at night, and the best place to watch a game, get into the Roo Pub at 281 in Redmond Road. We'll see you at the Roo.
Ribs, burgers, chicken. Submit what you cooked on the grill or smoker, and you can win a $50 gift card from Tri-County Meat Market. Grilling with the Blitz. Online at sasportstar.com.
This is Joe Reiniger on your home for everything that matters in sports. San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN 1250 and 103.3 FM.
Yeah, that's right, baby. God, I love this song. This song is so great. So Carolina, by the way, welcome back to Halftime on San Antonio Sports Star. Brand New Lover by Dead or Alive back in the late 80s. I was at security service early this morning making a deposit.
Oh.
And I'm in line and this song comes on the overhead and I realize that I'm old because I'm vibing to a song from the bank. And I had to tweet out a video of myself just bobbing my head to the song because this was the type of song that I would just jam out to, dance to over at Joe's Volcano back in the day.
Wow.
You know, because remember the band Dead or Alive? I mean, they had Brand New Lover and then that you spin me right round.
Oh, yeah.
There you
Okay,
go.
that's that. Okay, yeah.
Dude,
Never heard this song.
That's how I know that I'm old, is that when I go to HEB, when I go to security service or CVS, and I'm just vibing to the music.
Can I just tell you something? I used to work at HEB and I used to work at security service, both the place that you just mentioned. The music that they play new hits. They play old school hits too. So don't feel old if you hear your jam at security service or HEB. They play new school stuff. They play old school stuff. But it's really hard to, be working all day and you just hear elevator music. So I like how they throw in those jams like that.
That's awesome. But man, you start thinking back in the day, back in the day at Joe's Volcano.
Yeah.
Back in the day at Brass Monkey or the Bonham Exchange or whatnot. And certain songs come to mind, but also certain people, maybe an ex, if you will. So early in the day, you asked me the question, when is an ex an ex?
Yes.
And I'm like, I thought it was a weird question. I kind of just blew it off. And then I came back to it. I was like, that is actually a fantastic question. So why are you asking this, Carolina Teague?
So because one of my good friends reached out to me and she said to me, hey, there's this guy that messaged me on social media. He wants to take me out on a date. But one of the first things he mentioned is that he was your ex. And I don't want to date him because he's your ex. So I asked her, well, who is this ex? She gives me the name. I don't think I dated him. I don't think that was my ex. He doesn't count because I dated him freshman year in high school. Okay, it's been way longer than that. We're way removed from high school. And it was only for 2 weeks and he barely had my telephone number. So why is he going around telling people that he's my ex-boyfriend? You are not my ex-boyfriend. You never met my parents. We, barely pecked each other on the lips. It was freshman year. Come on, bro. Don't be running around saying that you're my ex-boyfriend. That's weird.
I would agree with you on that one. Okay. But now what is it these days? I asked this question to Rob Thompson from R&R in the Mornings, got to listen from 7 to 10. And he says, if your toothbrush ends up at their place, that you're in a relationship. Okay. The other thing is that some people were saying, well, what if you mix money together? If you have a bank account, I mean, that's something, but more importantly, I think they're an ex these days in the year 2022 if they pop up in your social media.
What do you mean pop up in your social media? You need to elaborate that.
You do a selfie with them.
Oh,
when you're out and about. If you're out on a date and you do a photo with them and you post it, you're in a relationship.
But what if it's just one date that you go out with this guy and you're just extra and you love social media and you just post? I've never done that, but I'm just asking.
One date, I mean, first of all, I would be a little bit weirded out if we're posting selfies on the first date. Okay, that's probably red flag number one. But, I thought it was a great idea. I asked the question on Twitter what they think, and I gave the scenarios of if you're in a committed relationship.
I think that's it. That's the answer.
Dated 1 month, dated 3 months, or had an entanglement with. And the top 2 responses were either you were in a committed relationship or 2, dated at least 3 months. Because
why 3 months? Why?
I just think it's a good amount of time. I mean, it's a full season. It's a full season of life. We dated in the fall, right? The whole fall, right? It's the whole season.
Yeah.
So I think that right there is a defining moment for me when it comes to it, even if it's not committed. Because if you went on a date once every other week for 3 months, that's like what, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 times,
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like it counts as a relationship, or I can say you're my ex when you've met my parents. If I say, okay, you're ready to meet my parents, and I'm really strict on meeting my parents, it has to be like a year in, then we're in a relationship. Other than, don't call me your girlfriend. Like, don't say that you dated me. We were just, having fun and having a good time, not married. You're not my ex. Don't claim me in public. Don't ever say you dated me. Don't do none of that stuff.
But the thing is that you could be with somebody for a year or two and not introduce to the parents. And at that point,
Now, why would somebody do that?
it happens all the time. That's why I never want to be single again, because I would absolutely suck in the dating world.
Me too.
Okay,
I wouldn't even know where to start.
Because it's just nightmare after nightmare, and often it's just not even worth it. Absolutely not even worth it. And it's just so funny because back in the day, dating was fun, when you were young and you were going out and about and meeting lots of new people, but that just gets old. And maybe it's not that gets old. Maybe I get old. Maybe it's the fact that
Maybe you're just tired.
I'm tired of social media. This is day number 5 of being off social media.
You were off social media?
I only do Twitter right now.
Oh, well, that's social media, Michael.
Well,
you can't just.
That's also,
we can make exceptions to the rule.
That's also sports related and also work related. But I haven't been on Facebook or Instagram or TikTok in 5 days.
Wow.
Unless it was to do something for the station.
You know what? That's really good. That's very good, especially for somebody who is on a station. That's really good. But like I said, back to the thing where, why wouldn't somebody introduce 2 years? You got to meet my parents, unless the parents are, God forbid, no longer alive. Then of course you're not going to meet the parents, or, the parents live far, far away, like in England or something like that.
The other ones meet the kids.
Oh, meet the kids too. Yeah. Which is sad these days that you have to do stuff like that. But yeah, like, or meet the kids. I just feel like, do not call me your ex. If we dated in middle school and, we exchange letters every now and then, don't call me your ex, please. And especially not in today's day and age. Do not DM people and say, yeah, that's my ex. No, I'm not your ex.
If it started,
we barely dated. You barely had my telephone number.
If it started on a piece of paper and it asked the question, will you go around or go out with me? Yes or no? Then it does not count.
Yeah.
So this is halftime. We do sports, pop culture, nostalgia. And on Tuesdays with Teague, we'll do a little bit of dating advice from time to time.
Yeah. Well, if you're dating somebody, right, don't call them your girlfriend unless it's serious. Or don't be running around trying to date other women saying you dated this other woman.
I love this
and you never did.
We'll update the poll in the next hour, but we have another hour to go here on halftime. By the way, we're giving away tickets right now to caller number 5 to see Coheed and Cambria over at the Whitewater. The special guest is going to be Dance Gavin Dance. This is going to be July 16th in, I guess it's going to be the Canyon Lake area at the Whitewater Amphitheater. Again, caller number 5, 656 ESPN gets tickets to see Coheed and Cambria in concert. Another hour to go of halftime. We'll be talking more about the Spurs. A rodeo road trip is over, and Joe Reinagel, the legend, the TV sports legend, has called it a career. This is halftime on San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN AM 1250 and 103.3 FM.
Didn't catch R&R in the morning? Here's what you missed.
The storyline of Kanye is entertaining.
I'm telling you, and bless his heart. I say that both.
You sound like a country dude. Like, that's all country folks say, bless his heart.
I know that he's got some medical issues that he doesn't tend to.
That's another country word, tend to. Well, that's country. It don't get no more country than tend to.
Rob Thompson, Rudy J. Weekday morning 7 to 10 on San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN 1250 and 103.3 FM.
Joel, I'm going to show you something that will revolutionize and streamline the way we do business.
No, thank you.
It's unlike anything you've seen before. I've just completed my online training for hypnosis.
Whatever.
Listen, my supersized supervisor. Hypnosis is used to free the mind and unlock amazing physical capabilities, and I can show you.
How about you hypnotize yourself back to work?
Close your eyes, Joel, and focus on my voice. You're getting sleepy, very sleepy, going deep. Deep.
Nigel, I think you just accidentally hypnotized yourself. Folks, don't let your home's AC, heating, or plumbing problems put you in a trance. Call Quarter Moon day or night, and we'll immediately send a friendly tech to your home or office. They'll quickly diagnose and fix the issue, always at a fair price. Nigel, when I snap my fingers, you're going to wake up as a poodle.
Joel, can we go for a walk? Can we? How's my hair? Bark. Woof, woof.
Quarter Moon Plumbing, Heat, and AC. 210-651-5899. License number M13229 TACLA 000743458.
I need 4 more of the biscuit carnitas, 2 burnt end platters, 3.
The kitchen at Kai's Barbecue is firing on all cylinders.
Greg, help me bring these to the pickup counter.
He needs food runners who can hit the ground quickly.
86 on the chicken and we're short-staffed. Let's pick it up.
Indeed can help him hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Instant Match instantly connects you with quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your sponsored job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
I need 4 more of the biscuit carnitas, 2 burnt end platters, 3.
The kitchen at Kai's Barbecue is firing on all cylinders.
Greg, help me bring these to the pickup counter.
He needs food runners who can hit the ground quickly.
86 on the chicken and we're short-staffed. Let's pick it up.
Indeed can help him hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Instant Match instantly connects you with quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your sponsored job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Exergen would like you to know about an important study just released by the FDA. It confirms what the medical community has known all along. Non-contact thermometers are not accurate. The study also reports that they fail to meet FDA requirements for accuracy in labeling. We can't afford to tolerate the rampant false temperature readings from non-contact thermometers. Accurate temperature measurements are essential. You need Exergen thermometers because they are accurate and backed by over 100 clinical studies. Be sure, be accurate with Exergen. Learn more at Exergen.com.
Live, local, loud. KZDC, San Antonio Sports Star. ESPN, AM 1250 and 103.3 FM. Michael Jimenez. Halftime.
It's hour number 2 of halftime on San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN AM 1250, 103.3 FM. We're on the go at sasportstar.com. We're live on Facebook and on YouTube. Just search San Antonio Sports Star. By the way, I'm taking a look right now. Just in on ESPN, Mike McCarthy of the Dallas Cowboys says Dak Prescott had surgery on his non-throwing shoulder. So we'll take a look into that in a little bit during the break. We'll research some more of that. But again, halftime goes till 2 o'clock here on San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN AM 1250, 103.3 FM. Again, we're live on Facebook, on YouTube. We're also on Twitter. I'm at Mike ESPNSA. Carolina Teague is at Carolina Teague _ People already coming at me on Facebook and YouTube saying that I cannot, that I'm saying that I'm off social media, but that I'm also doing polls on Twitter. Again, I am keeping Twitter. I need to have at least one outlet.
Twitter
one
is
vice,
social media.
One vice.
I mean, I understand it's for work, but you can't do a true cleanse of social media unless you are completely off.
I don't want them to truly cleanse me from this station. Okay?
Oh, yeah.
This is my job, right?
Yeah,
no,
right,
but
right.
not that all the posts that I do on Twitter are my job. I mean, me vibing to a brand new lover at security service was not work related. That's just me being fun. But no, I got rid of Facebook, got rid of Instagram, got rid of TikTok.
That's good.
I mean, I'm still on there technically, but I'm just not checking it.
Yeah, you're on there for sports. And technically, like when you're looking up sports news and stuff like that, I feel the same exact way. Like I'm supposed to be doing my job. I have to be prepared for this. But, I'm not, like if I'm not posting my meals like I always do, if I'm not posting my gym stuff like I always do, that means that I'm probably taking a social media cleanse as well. Can I just say something about this ex-boyfriend thing that we were talking about before the break?
Let's do this.
Yeah. Chris on Twitter cracked me up. He said after 90 days, that is when somebody's considered your ex because it's you get the refund policy after 90 days. So 90 days is his take.
Yeah,
I think it's a good idea.
If jewelry was exchanged or accepted, that's also you were in a relationship. That speeds that process up as well. And people reaching out saying, hey, man, there are some people that you dated in middle school. Don't take that away from them.
That's true. And that's what somebody told me. Somebody told me also that these men are probably proud that they dated me for 10 days in middle school. So just let them say it. Just let them be happy.
To say we didn't date. We went around. because that's how we
That's
do
a
it in San
throwback.
Antonio. That's
Super
how
throwback.
that is West Side and South Side right there.
Yeah, super.
Welcome back to halftime. You know, the San Antonio Spurs wrapped up the rodeo road trip 4-4. We got to be proud of that
Because everybody said 2. Everybody said 2 games originally.
and
4-4 is not bad.
right now, so the horses are gone, the cows are gone, the cowboys are gone. Rodeo road trip is over. So that means the Spurs are coming back to the AT&T Center, and 8 of the next 9 games are at home, including a 7-game stretch in a row. This right here is going to determine whether or not the Spurs make the play-in tournament. Because right now, the Spurs are sitting at 24-38, a game and a half behind both New Orleans and Portland for the 10th spot. Spurs need to make that up. But guess what, Carolina? Spurs have the weakest schedule of those 3 teams coming up.
Yes.
And the Lakers have a hard schedule. The Pelicans, the Blazers have a harder schedule. The Spurs are going to catch up to them, aren't they?
Good. And I think that they will too. I'm having a bet at my household of the Lakers versus Spurs. Are the Spurs going to have a better record than the Lakers by the end of the regular season? And I say yes. And I think it's because of the tough schedule that the Lakers have coming up. I think the Spurs have a lot of beatable games coming up. They play the Kings. I think that's potentially a beatable game. The Hornets, that might be a tough one. I like Lonzo Ball. Lakers versus Spurs, that's going to be interesting as well.
Now, for the Spurs to make the play-in tournament, it may very well need to happen that way where the Lakers get bumped off, because right now the Pelicans are looking good. They've won 2 in a row. They've won 6 of the last 10 games. Now the Spurs have won 5 out of the last 10, but take a look who the Pelicans have beaten recently. They beat the Lakers. They beat the Suns. They beat the Raptors. It's interesting going to be down the stretch what's going to end up happening there. But the Spurs right now, again, have to leapfrog both Portland and New Orleans to make it. They're just playing well, man. They're offensively, they're playing well. It's kind of strange because typically we've had these seasons where the Spurs play well defensively but can't get it together offensively.
Yeah.
The opposite seems to be happening right now. But Coach Popovich talked about this rodeo road trip now that it has come to a close.
Well, this has been a long deal, 8 or 9 games, with the break in between, so it gets kind of knocks your rhythm off. But overall, they've done a good job. They've improved as a team. Tonight I was disappointed because we gave up 42 in the first quarter. So mentally weren't there. Was it 3 games in 4 nights, and the last 2 that were pretty much drained them? Probably a little bit, but I don't care. They can't have that excuse. But the start of the game was really poor. And we got back in it, like they always do. It was a 4-point game. We got to stop, and they got the loose ball on Tilly's 3. And then the game went away from us after that. So they hung in and gave it everything they did that they had.
That's been their situation pretty much the whole season. I mean, they pretty much have a good game up until you get to the second half of the games this season. And then they have costly turnovers, mistakes, free throw errors that cost them the game. And this has just been the story of their season. And I want to make a quick correction. I said that Lonzo Ball plays for the Hornets. He doesn't. It's LaMelo Ball. I don't know what I was thinking. I was like, I was thinking to myself the whole time. I was like, I know it's not Lonzo Ball. It's LaMelo Ball. So my bad, y'all. That's one of my favorite players too.
I'm taking a look at the Spurs right now and what they've been able to accomplish. And the thing is that the turnaround really happened because of all the moves that they made during the trade deadline and leading up to the trade deadline, getting rid of Bryn Forbes, getting rid of Thad Young, getting rid of Derek White and Drew Eubanks. And what you're looking at here is that you're seeing that there's a team that's not as deep, but because it's not as deep, I think the players know their roles.
Yes.
Because it was one of those things where you take a look at it and it was like Drew Eubanks would be out there, and then Jock Landale, and then Zach Collins would show up. And then, all 3 of them are fighting to be the backup for Jakob Poeltl.
Mm-hmm.
And then you take a look at shooting guard position. Is it going to be Derek White? It's going to be Lonnie Walker, Primo. There weren't enough minutes to go around. So at some point you needed to trim the fat.
Correct.
And this has been something that was good for the Spurs, getting rid of some of these players, and good for the teams that they went to. I think that Bryn Forbes is going to excel. I think that Derek White's going to excel where he's at.
And Derek White, they've had a winning record. Well, the Celtics already pretty much had a winning record throughout the season, but they're still winning now that Derek White is there, and he's a great role player off the bench.
Yeah, and 538.com says that Boston Celtics have the best chance out of all teams in the NBA right now of winning the title, even though they're the 6th seed right now. because
Wow.
they think that by the end of the year that they will jump up to a top 3 spot.
Yeah.
And defensively, they are super strong. And because of
That's
that, they're
big.
going to be in a lot of games, and they have some offensive firepower. But defensively, that's what they're going to hang their hat on. So, but it's interesting to see what the Spurs have been able to accomplish over the past 3 to 4 weeks or so. But now it's the time to pack the AT&T Center.
Yes.
Because prior to the rodeo road trip, that place was empty.
It's always empty, and that's my biggest complaint about the AT&T Center. They got more jerseys up in the rafters than they have more fans in the crowd. Now, I'm just being dramatic, but I mean, it's the truth. I mean, I feel like every time I walk into an AT&T Center, I'm walking into a Lids because they got 10 jerseys up there.
Yeah.
That's a lot of jerseys. And I feel like with the fans and everybody needs to pack the AT&T Center, rile up that crowd. And the Lakers game is coming up March 7th. The last time I was at the Lakers home game against the Spurs, I felt like I was at a Lakers game. I literally saw Lakers fans taking their shirts off, throwing money into the crowd, throwing babies in the air, kissing babies, infants, and just making it rain, liquids, alcohol. I mean, they just threw a party. I mean, I wanted to cheer for the Lakers because I felt like I was at crypto. What is it? Crypto.com? Crypto Center now. I felt like I was there. So Monday's coming up, you guys. If you guys are listening right now, Monday's coming up. If you're a Spurs fan, you have no business not attending the game unless you have a prior obligation.
Ronald Schmidtka on Facebook saying tickets are too expensive. That's incorrect, my man. You can go on and find tickets to a lot of games for $8.
Or go into overdraft. You know, why go to overdraft one time in your bank account, play that little $25 fee, and then wait till you get paid again. It's okay. You know, I mean, I'm not giving financial advice, but I mean, if
let's
you
not do that.
I mean, just go to overdraft one time. It's not going to hurt.
But the next Spurs home game is Thursday against the Sacramento Kings. Then they go back on the road to play the Hornets. They come back home for 7 in a row. We're talking about the Lakers, the Raptors, the Jazz, Pacers, T-Wolves, Thunder, Pelicans. 7-game stretch right there. I bet you out of these 9 games, 8 out of 9 from home, if the Spurs can go 6-3, just pencil them in. They are going to be in the play-in tournament. If they get 5, it's going to be close. Kielbasa Bacon phone lines, by the way, are open at 656 ESPN if you want to talk about the Spurs, want to talk about any of the topics that we've discussed already. But, real fast.
Pack the stadium.
Yes, real fast. Pack the stadium. And not only pack the stadium, how about packing a baseball field? Because congratulations to the UTSA Roadrunners baseball team. So much love was given to the football team, deservedly so, because they became nationally ranked this year. And, they were undefeated for much of the season, did very well. But did you know that yesterday the UTSA Roadrunners beat the number 2 team in the nation, Stanford Cardinal, 6-5 here in San Antonio? UTSA is now 7-1.
Yep.
I'd be interested to see if UTSA gets ranked in baseball when the new rankings come out. But I've learned, according to the Express News and whatnot, that it's going to cost like $7 to $10 to go watch a UTSA baseball game. Get some sun, baby. Congratulations to the Roadrunners.
Yeah, congrats to the Roadrunners. 7-1, won their 5th straight game in a row, beat Stanford. That's an incredible start. I think that they're doing a great job. Shout out to UTSA. Everybody says UTSA never gets enough love. They're getting a lot of love, especially the baseball program now. The football program got their love. I got my Meep Beep tattoo on my right foot for UTSA. So I hope UTSA baseball takes it just as far as UTSA football, because I already got the tat on my right foot to show it. So I'm excited about it.
And the season is just starting because, again, they're 7-1, and we've got probably another 2 or 3 months worth of baseball to watch. So again, big props to those guys. They've got games against Tarleton State coming up, games against number 14 TCU. Actually, those games were just recently played. Oh, you know what? It's funny. They played Seattle the other day. I was wondering why I saw so many Seattle backpacks when I was at the airport the other day. I was coming back in from Alaska Airlines, and all of a sudden I was like, hey, those guys are there. They belong to something. It was a Seattle baseball team.
Now you put it together.
The next games, let me correct myself. The next game for UTSA baseball is Friday against Southern here in San Antonio. And they're going to be playing them on the 4th, the 5th, and the 6th. It's going to be a 3-game set. Then they play Incarnate Word on Tuesday.
God, that's gonna be so dramatic.
So that's a home game for both, right?
Yeah,
Then
we got to go to that one.
They go on the road against Oklahoma for a 3-game set. Then they play Houston Baptist and then Louisiana Tech, and then at Baylor, at FAU, and then they play at Incarnate Word. So there's a lot to go on for UTSA baseball. Again, UTSA baseball 7-1, defeated the number 2 ranked Stanford Cardinal yesterday. Fantastic. So not only do we have a congratulations going out to UTSA, but a big congratulations to our own Joe Reinagle of the San Antonio Sports Star. He called it a career yesterday from the TV side.
Yay!
He was doing double duty over here. He was doing the 10 o'clock news and doing the 10 o'clock sports, should I say.
Double OT.
And then he'd be doing the radio show here, the Blitz from 4 to 7. But now he's going to be doing radio. And it was amazing because yesterday, very dramatic, very emotional ending to his career at Ken's 5. Here's what he had to say as he was saying goodbye to San Antonio.
Well, that was a lot of fun, and it's hard to believe that was the last one here on Ken's TV. It's been an amazing run, simply amazing. Boy, you look back and 25 years just flies by. It certainly does, and I'll never forget this place. Just a couple of thank yous. The late, great Dan Cook. I wouldn't be here without him. He was amazing, and I'll always remember him fondly. Chris Maru, another man that was very special in my life, and probably wouldn't be here without him either. There's been so many great people that I've had the pleasure and privilege to work with throughout the years, and it's just been incredible. You saw Bob Ballou earlier, who's now up in Austin. Greg Simmons has been a great friend. Luke Stuckmeyer, Joe Brown, Evan Klosky, and perhaps the most special of all of those, Vinny Vincetta. He has been a great friend and a very loyal co-worker. And the photographers, my gosh. Richard Valdez, my brother, Marcus Floyd, Jason Eggleston, you're a great friend, my brother. Thank you so much. It's been a pleasure working with all of you guys.
That's amazing. 25 years at Ken's 5, Joe Reinagle, hanging him up. Could be playing with us here at San Antonio Sports Star. So he's not saying goodbye to San Antonio.
Right.
He's saying goodbye to San Antonio viewers of Ken's 5. By the way, courtesy Ken's 5 and Tegna Inc. for that sound there. I've known Joe Reinagle for a long, long time. I'm 41 years old, and I've calculated that I was 20 years old when I met Joe Reinagle.
Wow, I just met him last week.
I've
seen him on TV, but I just met him.
Back in the day, I used to be a television news producer. Well, I started off as an intern. So he mentioned Greg Simmons' name, and I interned under Greg Simmons for a few years, and then I started working at Ken's, and I had a TV career for about 8 years. So I got to know him for a good while, and I started working over at Ken's. And one of the things that I will say about it is that I remember being 20 years old and him being probably in his mid to late 20s at the time. And we would play football on Sunday mornings. We'd go to the medical center and just play, touch football or whatnot.
That's normal.
And we got to know each other very well. And it's, we've, not kept in touch along the way, but, we bump into each other from time to time. But it was so great seeing him come to San Antonio Sports Star, now co-hosting the Blitz with Jason Minix, because the conversations just kind of keep going. And I was at Ken's again in 2015 or so, doing some news producing again, and getting to see Joe. And he always welcomed me. He's always been a very, very nice man, and I enjoy him. He's like a big brother to me in radio and in TV. So he's a very, very good guy. In 25 years, to replace Dan Cook, who was a legend, who is still a legend here in San Antonio, it's amazing. This is kind of like Bill Cowher type of thing. That's kind of what Joe Reinagle is, because you replace a legend, but then you create a legend of your own. And congratulations, man, because 25 years, the TV news industry will chew you up and spit you out.
Yeah, that's being in the TV and radio industry for 25 years, or just being able to have that type of career is something everybody dreams of.
Mm-hmm.
Being able to have that type of longevity. Joe Reinagle, you killed it. Congratulations on your retirement. And if you can't get enough of Joe Reinagle, you can get him right here at the San Antonio Sports Star. So that's the best part, is if you want more Joe Reinagle, San Antonio, you tune in to the Blitz
4-7.
4-7.
You know, it's interesting because I was listening to R&R in the morning, and they were talking about Joe's retirement from Ken's 5, and it's talking about how he's going to have a normal life, because it's not normal to be working 2 to 11 for 25 years in a row.
It's not. I couldn't do it.
I mean, he can
I'd
sleep.
quit.
He can sleep in late.
I'm just kidding.
You know, he can get off of work and go have dinner and enjoy that dinner. And some of the names that he mentioned over there, Jason Eggleston, Marcus Floyd, Vinny Vanzetta, those are very, very nice people. They're very hard workers, and they're good at what they do. I've gotten to know them over the years as well. But man, again, congratulations to our own Joe Reinagle.
Congrats, Joe.
Dude, 25 years, man. That's amazing.
This is what dreams are made of.
Very nice. We're going till 2:00 here on San Antonio Sports Star. We talk sports, pop culture, nostalgia in a way that was both newsworthy and nostalgic to think back about Joe Reinagle's career over at Ken's 5. But we'll be coming back and talking about some pop culture. You know, there's a lot of concerts being canceled in Russia for some reason. You know, one of my favorite bands says, we're not going there. But the weird thing is, we have a list of bands, popular bands, that are still scheduled to be out there, and should they still be out there? And we'll also be talking more about Carolina's question about the X. When is an X an X? This is Halftime on San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN AM 1250 and 103.3 FM.
The Paul Feinbaum Show. It's the Jerry Springer of sports talk.
Let's try this again. This is Jim on the other line.
Yes, you won't let me talk, Paul. She knows I'll blast her all over the ceiling. You are a society snob. That's what you are, lady. And you're not a lady.
You hit people with a spitball.
You're a mad woman. You are a mad woman, lady.
Paul Feinbaum. Weekday afternoons at 2. San Antonio Sports Star. ESPN 1250 and 103.3 FM.
Exergen would like you to know about an important study just released by the FDA. It confirms what the medical community has known all along. Non-contact thermometers are not accurate. The study also reports that they fail to meet FDA requirements for accuracy in labeling. We can't afford to tolerate the rampant false temperature readings from non-contact thermometers. Accurate temperature measurements are essential. You need Exergen thermometers because they are accurate and backed by over 100 clinical studies. Be sure, be accurate with Exergen. Learn more at Exergen.com.
Wait, aren't these all charitable donations?
At Magda's Tax Prep, every person
I'd
counts.
rather not have to file for an extension.
She needs new auditors to maximize returns on her family time.
On itemized deductions. Hey, can someone help with these 1099s?
Indeed can help her hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Our hiring platform instantly connects you with quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Okay, so we got the chorizo dumplings, the cucumber empanadas.
Zara's food truck is popping off.
Come on, guys, let's pick it up, all right?
But if she doesn't find a new chef, her truck will be stuck.
Carl quit this morning, so Jessica, I'm gonna need you on the fryer.
Indeed can help her hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Instant Match instantly connects you with quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your sponsored job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
My stomach.
Don't worry, I've got you covered.
When you have nausea, heartburn, indigestion, upset stomach, diarrhea.
What's that?
It's Pepto-Bismol Chews.
Pepto-Bismol's in a chew?
Yeah, they taste great and provide fast relief. And you can always have Pepto-Bismol handy.
Ooh, let me try it.
Try Pepto-Bismol Chews for fast relief.
Nausea, heartburn, indigestion, upset stomach, diarrhea.
Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
Listen to this station anytime, anywhere on Odyssey. Odyssey is your new audio home for all the music, news, sports, and podcasts that matter to you. Odyssey. That's AUDACY.
Are you at a dead end when it comes to dealing with that awful joint pain? So was Rick Rawlings.
I did 1.5 years of steroidal injections in my shoulders, both shoulders. They weren't helping at all, and it was just a Band-Aid.
As for the constant pain medication prescriptions,
I didn't get any relief. I didn't get any sleep, so I just stopped taking them. I didn't want to get hooked on drugs.
But one day,
I heard a commercial on the radio about QC Kinetics.
Rick called QC Kinetics and learned all about natural biologic therapies, non-surgical treatments that actually help the body restore damaged joint tissue. And it was life-changing.
After doing the QC Kinetics, I feel like I have a new life again. Today, my shoulders feel wonderful. My only regret was I wish I had done it sooner.
From dead ends to new beginnings. Call today and learn about QC Kinetics' long-lasting relief.
Call QC Kinetics, 210-571-0318. That's 210-571-0318. QC Kinetics, 210-571-0318.
There's never any FOMO with the iHeartRadio app. You won't ever have to miss out on your favorite shows and contests with this radio station again. Radio 24/7, 365. We're here when you want us. Stay connected and listen anywhere when you download the free iHeartRadio app.
Join up the game plan for the second half of the day. It's halftime with Michael Jimenez on San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN 1250 and 103.3 FM.
Welcome back to halftime on San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN AM 1250 and 103.3 FM. My name's Michael Jimenez. Carolina Teague is with me. Edwin Hafner is producing this show. We go till 2 o'clock, sports, pop culture, and nostalgia. We also do breaking news because the breaking news that happened during the show was the announcement from the Dallas Cowboys that Dak Prescott had surgery on his non-throwing shoulder. The thing is that Mike McCarthy says that there's no issue, that it was more of a cleanup type of thing, and that it will not affect his offseason. But still, whenever you hear that the leader of the team, the leader of America's team is going under the knife, it's a little bit of cause for concern, right? You have to stop a little bit to think about it.
It sounds a little gaslighty, like it's surgery. I mean, you have to be sedated
Mm-hmm.
and they have to do work on you.
But again,
and so to say that, this is just not, I'm sure it's not a big issue, but what if something happens? Well, I mean, obviously this is not the case, but sometimes people can go under surgery and they can never come back. I mean,
but again, none of that happened. Okay. None of that happened. Apparently it all went well and Dak Prescott's going to be fine. And reportedly, according to the coaches, according to sources out there saying that he's going to be fine for the offseason. So that's good for the Cowboys. Got to get it done early, I guess is what I'm saying.
I think this is the right time to do it now, not right before the season starts. This is the perfect time to get surgery.
Do you know what? You know what's not a perfect time?
What?
To maybe do concerts in Russia right now.
Why is that?
We do not talk politics here in San Antonio Sports Star. That is not what we do. But one of the things that we do know is that Russia invaded Ukraine, and there are a lot of people who are upset about that, right? And there you go. Okay, some people are upset about that. A lot of people are upset about that.
Yeah.
And
I don't blame them. I mean, everybody has their very strong opinions about politics.
Right. And the thing is that a lot of people are saying, there's these celebrities and musicians that maybe shouldn't be performing out in Russia while this is all going on, right? We've seen on a sports front that certain soccer organizations and soccer leagues are preventing Russian teams and Russian affiliated teams from taking part, right? So it's happening in sports too. But now when it comes to the entertainment world, we're seeing that a lot of bands have canceled performances. This morning, Eric Clapton canceled an upcoming performance that he had that was going to take place in St. Petersburg, and he had 2 in Moscow for June. He said no to that. The Killers, one of my favorite bands, has said no. And also in the past few hours or so, Imagine Dragons, Green Day, Louis Tomlinson have all said that no, they're not performing in Russia out of protest, or it could be because of safety reasons.
Right.
Okay. But it got me thinking, well, who is still playing? As of right now, playing in Russia right now, between the months of May and July, still scheduled, are Judas Priest,
Okay.
Bjork,
Okay.
Korn, Slipknot, Gorillaz,
Yeah.
and Five Finger Death Punch.
That's a good roster.
I mean, yeah. I mean, I think some of these are playing together in a festival. But the fact of the matter is that there are a handful of bands out there that still say, yeah, we're still playing in Russia. At least right now we are.
Mm-hmm.
So what are your thoughts? Would you be upset if one of your favorite bands performed in a conflict like this, despite a conflict like this?
I think it wouldn't really bother me because it's not my pockets that they're affecting, and I also feel like these bands can do what they want. I mean, who knows their personal financial situation? If they need the money, then go perform. I could care less. I don't care what these bands do. Now, if they, get on stage and make these political statements that are something against my personal beliefs, which I don't really think I even have personal beliefs when it comes to politics that much, but let's just say they say something very left field and I don't agree with it, then I'll probably be mad. But at that point, to be honest, I just don't care. I mean, people can perform wherever, whenever, however. It doesn't affect me and my family.
There are some WNBA players who play in Russia. I know Becky Hammond was one many, many years ago, made more money in Russia than she did playing for the WNBA.
Mm-hmm.
So taking a look at that, there are reports right now on Sports Illustrated saying that there are American players, WNBA players who are playing overseas right now in Russia who are trying to get home. So it's going to be fascinating to see, if it's going to be easily done or if this is going to be a process, because we don't know what's going to go on over there.
Yeah, my yoga teacher, I've been doing hot yoga lately. Our yoga teacher, she's stranded in Ukraine.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, you never know. If you go over there, you take that risk, but you might not come back.
Yeah, my wife knows somebody who's a missionary out there in Russia, in Ukraine, rather, not in Russia, in Ukraine, who's having difficulty coming out of that country as well.
Yeah, it's not like a walk in the park. You can't just hop on a jet and come back to the United States. So if you go to Russia, if you go to Ukraine, if you go to a place where there's war right now, you're basically at your own risk. You might never make it out.
I reminded my wife, I almost had a business trip to the Ukraine last year. And I was telling her, I was like, amazing. Like all of this stuff that we're seeing on TV, we were supposed to be there. That was a possibility that we were going to be in the Ukraine. But because of COVID and because of various other things, I did not qualify for that trip. But it's kind of interesting because it's a beautiful part of the world.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a lot of beaches out there as well.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know. I for some reason I always thought like there was nothing over there.
Yeah, you're thinking Rocky IV where Balboa's up there,
Yeah.
climbing a mountain screaming, Drago!
That's what I think of. That's
No.
exactly what I think of.
No, Ukraine is beautiful.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow, now I want to go. Well, maybe not right now. But,
Maybe not now.
yeah, but I would like to go now that I know that.
Another place to go visit would be a place like Japan. Okay,
I
because
would love to go to Japan. Oh my gosh.
I was reading an article, and I might be mispronouncing this. It's called Kazukai, Kouzukai, Kazukai. And no, it has nothing to do with Cobra Kai or anything like that. But basically, it is a Japanese allowance. And I've read several articles about this where they talk about that in Japan, it's customary for a lot of families for the man to work, the woman to be a housemaker or housewife, take care of the kids or whatnot. But the guys give all their check to the female, to the wifey.
So they work and they give their check to the wife.
And the wife determines how much of an allowance they get, the husband gets.
Okay.
And I was reading that the average allowance over there, or the average kazukai, is $75 a week. And my question for you, Carolina, is if your man offered you an allowance, would you be offended by that?
Yeah, it'd be over my dead body. If I'm working hard and I've earned my check, then I can go spend it with whatever I want to as long as my bills are paid. And my rule also too is this: if you want me to, do everything around the house and you lay back and you do absolutely nothing, but we're both working a full-time job, then you need to let me go shopping with my check and you can pay all the bills.
We have a rule at my house, the Jimenez household, where my money is her money and her money is her money.
Okay, see, I don't, but some people, different strokes for different folks. Some people, they have joint accounts and they, do whatever they want to do. Some people can't manage their money. And I know people who give their man an allowance too. I do know people like that who do Kozukai in America.
I'm not bashing it because it might work for some people.
Yeah.
Whenever I go to Vegas, my friends will make fun of me because let's say that I want to go to Vegas for 3 days and I decide I'm going to put a number out there. I'm going to take $3,000 out there, right? $1,000 a day. my friends make fun of me because they're out there with $3,000 in their wallet, for example, and I don't do that. I put $1,000 in one envelope, 1,000 in another, and 1,000 in another. And if I run out of money on any given day, I go hit the pool or I go to sleep. I do not go fishing into the other envelopes.
Right.
Right. So I kazukai myself when it comes to vacations.
Right.
I know people who do that when it comes to groceries, where they take a certain amount of money, they put it in an envelope, and they go grocery shopping with it, and they won't spend beyond that.
That's smart.
So I was making light of it a little bit because, it's just that's not a very American thing. A very American thing is we're going to go spend our money. We're going to spend all of our money.
Yep. That's why a lot of people live paycheck to paycheck.
Right. That's right. And so, I guess different strokes for different folks, but that's just a custom over there. The custom is to save. And over here, unfortunately, it's not that way. And we tend to overspend, and we tend to go hang out at Starbucks all the time. I mean, I know people who spend $300-400 a month at Starbucks. And I'm thinking to myself, that could have gone into a retirement account, but it didn't.
I mean, we're both in finance, and I feel like I've experienced a lot working at a bank for a really long time, where I've seen nightmare stories with joint accounts and nightmare stories with spouses. So that's why Kozukai is not necessarily for me, but I could see the value of it because then you get to save. Now, for me personally, I think there's a fine line between giving me an allowance and financial abuse. So I get really scared that I guess there's a fear because I've seen it so much that if you could just take away my money from me at any time.
Maybe that's the thing right there. Maybe if it's because we're getting our act in order. Okay. Because I have a friend who gives her husband an allowance, but doesn't do it because out of power or anything like that. It's doing it because they're trying to buy a house. They're trying to do this, that, and the other, and they need to get things organized to make that happen. And because of that, they have to live within certain means that they normally wouldn't live within. But I found it interesting that Kazukai, but Rodrigo Bravo reaches out to us on Facebook and says, Mike, you spend $1,000 a day in Fremont. Again, I like Fremont more than the Strip these days. Hey, if $1,000 goes a long way at Fremont. And you know what's funny, Carolina, is that my friends will look at me and go, man, you were up money on day one. You were up money on day two. You got to, you can high roll on day three. And I'm like, no, I'm not touching that money. That money's coming home with me.
Right.
My wife hit a $600 slot a few days ago and a $500 slot. We had only been playing for 10 minutes.
Wow.
And she goes, I'm done.
So, and people have that self-control to check out. Some people cannot do that. Some people are like, I'm going to spend it all big. Scared money don't make money. Some people think like that. So, I mean, it just depends on how you are. But Kozukai, I'm for it. If it's good for your household, if you like it, I love it. Me personally, I need to go spend my money. If I could pay my bills, I could do whatever I want, whether I want to save, whether I want to go blow my money at a spa, or whether I want to go blow my money at the AT&T Center on my Spurs tickets. That's what I want to do.
Yeah, but let's not follow Carolina's opinion financial advice where we should go into overdraft to go watch the Spurs. At that point, watch Bally TV. And just watch it from home. But, we have more to come here on San Antonio Sports Star on halftime. We're actually giving away tickets right now to see Coheed and Cambria over at the Whitewater, which is by Canyon Lake. Again, the special guest is going to be Gavin Dance. I've been listening to this band, Coheed and Cambria, over the, on Spotify on the way to work.
Yeah.
It's interesting. People did not like it when we described it as like Rush. But the more I listen to it, it does sound like Rush. But again, it's a band from the 90s and early 2000s that's still kicking it, still doing its thing. We're going to be looking for caller number 7 on the Kielbasa Bacon phone lines of 656 ESPN. Again, that is 656 ESPN. When we come back, we're talking more Spurs. We're also talking more about entertainment news. Hey, did you know that one of my favorite movies, an all-time classic, is new to Netflix today? It's March 1.
Oh, I can't wait to hear
it. It is March 1. New Netflix releases. This is halftime on San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN AM 1250 and 103.3 FM.
The crazy world of SEC football.
I'm East Coast, baby. All you weak back Southern boys don't know nothing about East Coast.
The Paul Feinbaum Show, this afternoon at 2. San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN 1250 and 103.3 FM.
In the NBA, the San Antonio Spurs fell in their rodeo road trip finale 118-105 to the Memphis Grizzlies. Moran did everything. Blocks, buzzer beaters, posters. On his way to the Grizzlies' first ever 50-point game with a career-high 52. Lonnie Walker led the Spurs with 22, while DeJounte Murray added 21 in the loss. Spurs head coach Greg Popovich remains one game from tying Don Nelson for most career wins as they take on the Kings Thursday. In college basketball, the 21st-ranked Texas Longhorns fell at home to the third-ranked Baylor Bears 68-61. The 10th-ranked Texas Tech Red Raiders survived at home against Kansas State 73-68. I'm Rudy J, San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN SA, AM 1250 and 103.3 FM.
You could save big when you bundle your home and auto with Progressive, but when we just come out and say it, it feels like it falls a bit flat. So instead, we're going to have someone else say it. Because for some reason, when a random person talks about how great something is in a commercial, it's more believable.
I saved with a Progressive home and auto bundle.
And there you have it. I mean, I'm not sure why she's more believable than me, but either way, you get the point about the saving. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Discount not available in all states or situations.
Do you have taxiety? That uncertain feeling before doing your taxes? Connect with Liberty Tax and then just breathe in and cash out.
Get your refund faster with direct deposit to a Deep Blue debit account.
Deep Blue.
Visit StopTaxiety.com to schedule your appointment, and let's end taxiety. Liberty Tax. Faster access to funds based on comparing refunds via direct deposit versus a mailed paper check. Terms and conditions apply.
I need 4 more of the biscuit carnitas, 2 burnt end platters, 3...
The kitchen at Kai's Barbecue is firing on all cylinders.
Greg, help me bring these to the pickup counter.
He needs food runners who can hit the ground quickly.
86 on the chicken and we're short-staffed. Let's pick it up.
Indeed can help him hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Instant Match instantly connects you with quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your sponsored job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Hi, everyone. Michael Kielbasa with Kielbasa Smoked Meats here. When you bring a package of our smoked sausage home, keep it simple. It's handcrafted in small batches and fully cooked, so you can just heat it up and enjoy. My favorite way to eat it is on a bun with mustard or wrapped in a tortilla. Try some from a store near you today, and if it's not the best you've ever tasted, I'll give you your money back. Guaranteed. Find Kielbasa at a store near you today.
I didn't want to get her one out of the case. I didn't want to get her the standard, factory ring. I wanted to get her something special, something that she wouldn't fall in love with like I fell in love with her.
Brian and Melissa were disappointed at the cookie cutter engagement rings they saw at other stores. Then they found Diamonds Direct.
What we were really going for is quality ring, a quality stone, and the clarity that was hard to find anywhere else.
This is different than most jewelers that you would walk into. The way they buy their diamonds, the selection is immense.
More choices, higher quality, personal service, and by far the best value. That's the Diamonds Direct difference. Melissa ended up with a handcrafted ring from one of the top designers in America. She loves it, and Brian loves the value.
We were able to get an excellent quality stone that was very big within our budget and our price point. Actually, higher quality and a larger stone than I even expected.
I said yes.
Get her the ring of her dreams and stay in budget at Diamonds Direct.
Diamonds Direct is the place to go.
Your love, our passion.
I don't know why you wouldn't.
Get store hours and directions at diamondsdirect.com.
Joel, I'm going to show you something that will revolutionize and streamline the way we do business.
No, thank you.
It's unlike anything you've seen before. I've just completed my online training for hypnosis.
Whatever.
Listen, my supersized supervisor. Hypnosis is used to free the mind and unlock amazing physical capabilities, and I can show you.
How about you hypnotize yourself back to work?
Close your eyes, Joel, and focus on my voice. You're getting sleepy, very sleepy, going deep. Deep.
Nigel, I think you just accidentally hypnotized yourself. Folks, don't let your home's AC, heating, or plumbing problems put you in a trance. Call Quarter Moon day or night. We'll immediately send a friendly tech to your home or office. They'll quickly diagnose and fix the issue, always at a fair price. Nigel, when I snap my fingers, you're going to wake up as a poodle.
Joel, can we go for a walk? Can we? How's my hair? Bark. Woof, woof.
Quarter Moon Plumbing, Heat, and AC. 210-651-5899. License number M13229 TACLA 000743458E.
If you get arrested, get out of jail fast by calling AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121. Text bail to 474747 or online mybestbailbonds.com. You don't have to call attorneys or anybody else. Don't be forced into a PR bond. If the jail offers you one, make sure you understand the conditions before accepting it. AA Best Bail Bonds. Nobody beats their price. They have payment plans. Call 210-225-2121 or mybestbailbonds.com.
License number 149.
It's the NBA. Catch every score.
He knocks it down.
Every block.
Cracks it home.
Listen for the latest on San Antonio Sports Star.
ESPN 1250 and 103.3 FM.
This is Joe Reinagle. Jason Minix and I will get you caught up in the latest news, moves, and more this afternoon, 4 to 7 on San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN 1250 and 103.3 FM.
Upload a photo of what's on your grill and enter description and recipe at sasportstar.com, and you could win a $50 gift card to Tri-County Meat Market, winner chosen every Thursday at 6 on the Blitz. Welcome back to halftime on San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN AM 1250 and 103.3 FM. I've gotten to play with Carolina Teague today.
Whoop, whoop. Tuesdays with Teague.
Tuesdays with Teague.
Taco Tuesdays. Fat Tuesday.
It's always good times with Teague because we never know where the conversation's going to go.
Never know.
You know, earlier today, we talked about the Spurs. Rodeo road trip is over. They finished 4-4. The playoff push is coming up. Can they make the play-in tournament?
Yes.
Next 8 out of 9 games at home.
Yes.
Next 9 games. What's going to be their record in that 9-game stretch?
Oh, man, you threw me a curveball. I got to look at the whole schedule now.
It's an easy schedule.
It's an easy schedule, but this is the Spurs that we're talking about. And for the most part, for their home games, they haven't really, not really, but you think they're going to win the home games and then they don't. Perfect example is the Warriors game where everybody and their mother was injured and out of the game, and they lost that one. That one was the first thing that sticks out like a sore thumb. I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I say 5.
5 and 4. I'm going 6 and 3.
Okay.
I'm going 6 and 3, and they'll get over the embarrassment from yesterday. Morant going off for 52 points.
I don't think it was embarrassing.
Ask Jakob Poeltl if that was embarrassing.
Okay,
when he got stuck.
Yeah. That was embarrassing. Your eyes, yeah.
He got posterized, and because of that, a little bit embarrassing. He will live in that poster forever. But man, Morant, I declared him to be better than Allen Iverson. I declared him to be better than Kobe was at this point in his career, at this age.
And you made everyone mad.
And I'm not backing off. Morant is that good. I am that impressed. Other things we talked about today, congratulations to UTSA baseball. Beat the number 2 ranked Stanford Cardinal yesterday here in San Antonio, 6-5. If you want to check out some college baseball, they're taking on Southern. 3-game set on the 4th, 5th, and 6th here in San Antonio. Then on the 8th, they play home against Incarnate Word. That's going to be fantastic.
It's going to be fun to watching that Incarnate Word game. You know, I like to see that rivalry. It seems like everybody slashes each other's throats over UIW and UTSA. It's like a huge rivalry.
Oh, it is. Very much so.
Yeah.
You know, tomorrow is movie review Wednesday. And tomorrow's movie review, I have not seen it yet. Okay, so I can't, show my hand a little bit. But it's T2, Terminator 2. So I gave Terminator 1 a B+, but with a bullet, in the sense that I was super excited with how it ended, and I wanted to watch the second one. So super excited about that. I'll be watching that tonight.
Okay.
I was at the Museum of Pop Culture in Seattle over the weekend, and I got to see the costumes from T2. So I have photos of myself with the costumes from T2.
Oh.
They're encased and whatnot, but that's going to be fantastic. One of my favorite movies of all time is new to Netflix. Kind of exciting. It's March 1st, which means they have new releases. And I was fascinated to see that The Shawshank Redemption,
I love that movie,
is now on Netflix. Other new movies coming out. My Best Friend, well, they're not new. These are oldies but goodies. But new today, as of today on Netflix, Coach Carter, Freddy versus Jason, The Green Mile, My Best Friend's Wedding, The Replacements, which is a movie that I'm ashamed to say that I have never seen either. I'm going to get that one going. Top Gun is also there, Starship Troopers, and Shrek 1 and 2, V for Vendetta, and Zoolander, new to Netflix this month.
I guess they're getting a little bit better with their selections.
Well,
I guess a little bit. I mean, because I feel like for the longest time, Netflix was not worth the price point. But now I feel like now that you've introduced me to Love Is Blind, now that I've been watching the Yeezy documentary with Kanye West every Wednesday, I feel like I'm getting my money's worth now.
it's so sad. We get suckered into buying all of these subscriptions, and I'm now up
Ugh.
to 7. And every time I call into DirecTV to cancel my cable, my movie channels, they're always like, well, we'll give it to you for $3. And I'm like, okay. And then I'm thinking to myself, why? I haven't gone to the movie channel in forever. Is there anything that the movie channel or Cinemax offers that I can't get on HBO Max or Hulu or Amazon Prime or Netflix? No.
No, I love my Amazon Prime. I can't cancel that. HBO Max has great movies. Can't cancel that. Netflix has great shows. Can't cancel that. I can't cancel my Disney Plus. I can't cancel. Well, I don't have Hulu, but I think I'm going to be suckered into Hulu soon. Really soon, actually, in April probably. There's no reason to cancel these subscriptions so hard. And you know what? They do sucker you in like that. I was subscribed to The Athletic because I like to read news articles on sports because I'm a freak. And it was like what, $69.99 for a whole year. And I was like, you know what, I'm gonna cancel it because it's so expensive and I need to save some money. So I was on my way out the door of The Athletic, and they were like, well, we'll charge you $6.99 for the whole year. And I was like, I'll take it.
Yeah, and like, why can't we get that offer from the get-go?
From the get-go.
Because I remember when Netflix was like $7.99, and now the premier Netflix is $19.99. And then they ask you questions like on Hulu or on Peacock, which I now have Peacock because of Yellowstone. They're like, do you want to pay an extra $2 for no commercials? And I always say no out of just pride. And then the commercials come on, and I'm like, oh God, why am I watching this? Why are we watching commercials? Rodrigo Bravo is already planning to cancel me on Facebook, saying that I better give T2 a good review. I'm going to give it an honest and legit review.
Please do, because I've never seen Terminator 1 or 2. And Arnold, he sounds like this. So I don't know,
Wait
I don't really,
a minute.
That's what he sounds like.
Now,
Arnold. That's all I know is that Arnold sounds like that.
I do not know how old you are. Okay.
And I'm not telling you my age on air. We've already discussed this.
Okay. But I would assume that you're closer to my age than you are closer to Edwin's age.
Well, that's speculation. That's all speculation. I can't confirm or deny whether I'm closer to your age or whether I'm close to Edwin's age. What I can say is that I drink a ton of alkaline water.
None of this. I
moisturize I moisturize my face. I've been doing it since I was 15. Okay.
And how many years ago was that?
I'm not gonna let you calculate it.
Edwin loved that one.
Look at him trying to bring out his financial. You see, this is the math part. See, no, I'm not gonna tell you my age. Not happening. Where were we going with that?
The whole point of it is that is that you should have seen these movies, because they make fun of me for not watching these movies. Why haven't you watched The Terminator? Because I'm assuming that you're within the radius of my age. Okay. I'm not saying that you are in your 40s, but I'm saying is that you're north of 30.
Yeah. When you say radius, just widen your radius. Okay?
No,
it's not a short radius. Just widen your radius out a little bit.
It's probably shorter than I think, is what I think.
That's speculation. That's all speculation. Strike that from the record. Now, when I say, as far as why don't I watch movies? I don't watch movies because I trust people like you to give me the movie reviews. Why do I have to do all the hard work when you can do it for me? And you can give me the grade and I'll just take your word for it. Like, it's a group project. I feel like you and I are in a movie group project, but I let you do all the work and I just take your word for it, and I just turn my work in and I just take your word for it. I'm more of a music person. I like, listening to underground music, indie music. I'm more of a music person than I am a movie person.
Okay.
And I'm more of a reader person. Like, I like to read articles like The Athletic. I'm a reader freak, and I like ghost and alien stuff.
Can I intrigue you? Can I interest you in a Batman movie? Because people are reaching out to us right now asking the question. Eddie Stewart says, don't forget to pre-order your Batman tickets. I'm expecting a review on Friday, Mike.
I'm watching Batman. I love Batman. I'm obsessed with him
Who is
because he's a
Batman this
loner.
time?
He's a loner.
Now, who's starring in Batman?
I have no clue, but his voice better voice better hold it down. Because all the Batmans that play, they have incredible voices. If your voice isn't up to par, you are not Batman.
Is it Robert Pattinson from Twilight?
No, is it? Oh, I'm sorry for yelling. Is it? I don't want to watch that then.
Now, here's the thing. I've seen the Spider-Man movie a couple of times, so I like this new Spider-Man, the No Way Home.
He was a dork.
Who? Tom
The new
Holland?
Spider-Man, yeah.
Tom Holland's fantastic.
Not
there
as
will
fantastic
be no
as
Tom Holland slander here.
Not as the OG Peter Parker. What was his name?
Oh, Tobey Maguire.
Yeah,
and-
him. That's
and
number one.
Andrew Garfield was also there.
He was decent.
Oh, very nice. Carolina Teague, thank you for being here. We always enjoy Tuesdays with Teague. Again, tomorrow, Rudy J, movie review. It's going to be Terminator 2, T2, baby. Will I like it just as much as Terminator 1? This is halftime on San Antonio Sports Star. Stay here for 4 o'clock. From 4 to 7, we have the Blitz, but I'll be back here tomorrow for movie reviews.
Roll home with Joe Reinagle and Jason Minix.
So Reinagle